Today I'm going to be platinuming the gaming classic that is. This is a remaster of the original 2002 Mafia game. And looking back at the old footage of the game, I think it deserved a remaster. But anyways, we need to get to the platinuming. So the first stage is completing the game on classic difficulty. We first start off in a car chase where the characters Sam and Paulie are trying to get away from the other mob. We'll learn about that a little bit later in the scene, but then we find our main character named Tommy Angelo, who is a cab driver, and then they hijack his taxi and make him take him back to the mob. They then offer him compensation for his troubles and a job offering.
Compensation for your services.
And the next chapter, in the day after, the same thugs that were going after Paul and Sam come after Tommy, and then Tommy runs away to where the mob is heading out, where he dropped Paul and Sam off in the first chapter. In the next chapter, you go after the gang that broke and beat up Tommy. This is the other rival gangs, compound, and then you steal their boss's car. In the next chapter, you go around collecting your cash for the mob, and then you go into a cabin, and then they shoot up Pauline and Sam and hold Sam captive, and you have to go in and save Sam, and then they take all the money that they owe you, and then they run away with it, and then you have to chase them down until you end up crashing into them and then leaving them all for dead. But before we complete the chapter, we get 3 miscellaneous trophies for collecting all the collectibles in the game, the first of each one. The first one is for getting all the gangster cards, this one is for getting the first Pulp Fiction science magazine, and this is for getting your first Gangster monthly comic. Next chapter is a pretty famous chapter if anybody has played the Mafia series. This is the racing chapter in the game. This chapter is unbelievably hard for no reason, especially if you're playing on the hard difficulty, because the difficulty on how you turn magnifies on how hard the difficulty is on. So if you're on classic, which I am, it's impossible to turn. Once you turn, you slip and butter. This entire level sucks. Like, it took me 4 hours to do this, at least. Like, I had to lock in. But I did it, and I finished it, and I never want to do this race ever again. It was so ball-busting, and so hard for no reason. Like I almost stopped playing this game because of this.
Oh my lord. Thank God.
And then we encounter our first missable trophy of the playthrough, first and only of the playthrough, and you have to drop Paulie off at the brothel before, after finishing the race. And then you walk Sarah back to her apartment, and then fight a lot of guys outside of her apartment, and then you bring her back into her house once you defeat all of the enemies. And then in the next chapter, you go after the same guys that you fought in the alleyway. But then you and Pauline go there and finally finish them off until they're all dead.
Christ, Tom.
In the next chapter, you go into a hotel and you get specific instructions from Sam to save this one woman who was working in it. And then Don Sarah told you to kill the guy and plant a bomb in the main guy's headquarters to blow up the city, because the hotel stopped paying Don Sarah and started working for the other mob. And then once you blow up the bomb, you have to run away from the cops into a church where you found the guy who you thought you killed in the last chapter, but he survived. And then you finish the job for the last time and finally kill him.
Divine retribution.
In the next chapter, you, Sam, and Paulie go up to the Canadian border to get some nice fine whiskey from the Canadians. But then the shipment gets intercepted by police and the other mob, and you have to fight your way through police and mobsters, but Sam gets injured, and then right when you load up Sam into the truck, you get intercepted again by a SWAT truck, and then you have to burn down the truck after 3 stages. That was pretty hard, I do say. And then that's the end of the level.
Paulie, we gotta lose him! We did it! We did it!
In the next chapter, your boss notifies you as there's a rat in the mob house, and this rat turns out to be the one and only Frank. This is Don Sarelli's main butler, and he's working with the other mob, and you try to go and find him, but then you realize all he wanted was his life and the way to get out the game, since him and Don Sarelli have been at edges with each other for a long time, and Don Sarelli killed his dog, which is a reasonable crash out.
Anything you want me to tell him?
I wish it could have shaken out better, but Morello finally came after me. It's okay. You can come out. Morello offered me a simple trade. The Don's account books for our lives and tickets out of this town.
But I'm still looking at this headstone with his little girl's name on it.
It's a hell of a thing.
The next chapter, I'm not really going to show much of it because it's kind of pointless. All you had to do is break into some rich people's house and then steal absolutely nothing out of a safe. It was so pointless. In the next chapter, you do another whiskey deal. These guys are low-key alcoholics for real. Anyways, but then you have to escort the whiskey truck all the way back to Don Salari's warehouse because the other mob is going after it again. This is a pretty common theme in this game. But anyways, you get the truck back to the warehouse, and then you enjoy a nice glass of whiskey. In the next chapter, you and Don Sarah are on a dinner date, and then you guys get ambushed by the other mob, and then you have to escape out the back door of the restaurant, and then defeat the mob, and then get Don Sarah back to safety.
Now you're done!
Oh, look at the balls on this kid. You really saved my ass, Tom.
We gotta go, boss. The cops will be here soon.
I need a minute to catch my breath.
Keep your head down, brother. You too, Don Morello. Sailor man.
In the next chapter, you're instructed to go to the docks to get on a party cruise ship for a dude's 50th birthday. This guy is not liked by the mob because he's, again, with the other side of the mob. You are instructed to go to the bathroom to find your pistol so you can eliminate the guy that you're trying to go after. And then you wait for the fireworks to occur, and you strike him down, and then you try to escape off the boat, and you successfully do. In the next chapter, your target is to eliminate and kill Sergio before he can attack the mob again, like he once did, trying to kill your boss in the diner. But then you plant a bomb under his car, but then his wife gets in it, and she blows up. Like, she ain't surviving that. So then after, you go to plan B, which is go to where you think he might be, which is in the diner, and he is, and you run after him, and then he gets in his car, and you go on a long citywide chase around the city to the docks, where you have to go there and fight him. The fight took like an hour long of footage, so I'm not going to show any of the fighting. I'll just show when you finally beat him in the train station.
You ain't that lucky, bastard.
Wait. No!
And then you find plans that Morello is trying to escape where this place is located. I don't know where it's actually located. But then you track him down to the airport, and then he's trying to flee through a plane, and you have to get into a car and shoot his plane down and then follow it to wherever it lands.
We don't have the speed. Take us up! He's in a fucking plane! Cannon, let me shoot! He's not out of here yet!
Jesus Christ.
Bastard's daddy doesn't even know it yet.
This is one of my least favorite chapters in the game, but I'll still go through it. This is the prison section. You basically have to go through the entire prison, just get to a watchtower, just to shoot a guy. This was actually really fun, trying to aim up the sniper. But then after that, you have to try to escape from the cops. But first, I got a trophy for getting 15 different vehicles in the garage at once. And then I got another trophy for escaping a tier 5 wanted level from the cops. You have to do this to complete this game, I'm pretty sure. And then you get the level for the trophy. And the next level, you go to a warehouse to find what you believe is cigars and diamonds. But then once you open the crate, once you get back from it, you find out that you weren't going after diamonds, you're going after dope. And this makes everybody a little bit mad because they put their necks out for something that is considered dirty and something that is not clean and not moral in the streets of New York or where they are.
It's dope. We put our fucking necks out on the line for this shit.
Looks like it.
You better cool off, Polly. The Don's coming.
Shit. We don't say nothing about this to the Don.
The next day, you go against Don Salveri's plans, and you go rob a bank with Paulie. You do not do this with Sam. This makes him pretty pissed off, but we'll see that later. But first, you guys rob the bank and get all of the money. Not all the money, but you get a large sum of money, and then you guys strategize to try to leave town and go on a vacation.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Good luck.
See you around, pal.
In the next chapter, you go to Pauline's house and you find out that he's been killed.
Ah, Jesus. Polly. Sam, it's me. It's Tom.
Where's Polly?
He's dead. I'm looking at him slumped over in the hallway, torn a fucking skull.
Oh, God. I was calling to warn him.
About what?
Jesus Christ. I owe you
fella's my life 3 times over.
Warn him about what, Sam?
Salieri. He found out about the bank job. You're in deep shit, Tom. You gotta disappear.
Okay. Okay. I just need some cash to get me and the girls out of town. Can you swing that?
Sure. Anything, pal. You want me to come to Polly's?
No. No, I can't stay here. Meet me at the city gallery.
Yeah, okay. Keep your head down, Tom.
I'll see you soon.
So then after you get ambushed at the site where you thought that you were gonna meet Sam, and then you eventually do meet Sam, but Sam has changed. He turns on you, and he wants to suck up to Don Salieri so he can be the next Tommy, because he thinks Tommy is viewed as more of a favorite, and he thinks he should be the one who is the favorite.
I'm sorry about that, but I need to get out of town. Can you help me or not?
There you go again. Making me choose between my friends and the family. This is what you were looking for at Polly's. Here's your cut. It's more than you deserve.
Sam. You killed him. You killed Paulie.
No. Paulie got himself killed.
And you seem real tore up about it.
I'm just in a good mood. Things are right between me and the Don. I'm moving up, and I just found this big bag of money. The Don knows about Frank, Tom. The whore, too.
That whore. The girl you were sweet on.
You're the one that let her live. I'm sorry about this, Tom. But our business has rules. Shame, too. Don Salieri really liked you. Guess we'll both have a good cry at your funeral.
You think you're doing this because you're loyal. But you're not. You're just scared.
Maybe. But you would have lived a lot longer if you would have just looked over your shoulder from time to time. Goodbye. Lucky shot, Tom. But the thing about drug money is it pays for a lot of muscle. Put them down, boys.
You know what I think of Sarah.
You can't do it, can you? You always that little voice in the back of your head. Maybe sounds like your baby girl. Or Sarah. Always telling you not to pull that trigger. And you can't make up your mind.
It's getting easier every time you open your fucking mouth.
We sure had some laughs, right? Remember that time? Me, you, and Paulie.
After this, we get all the difficulty-related trophies. Next is the final stage of the game, and that is the getting all the miscellaneous and collectibles trophies. So I'll just rapid fire through all of them. This is for lockpicking 5 different cars. This is very easy. This next trophy is for collecting all of the Terror Tales comic book series. This is for getting all of the cigarette cards in the game. This is for denying arrest from an officer. And then this trophy is for getting all the Gangster Monthly comic books. All these comic books are pretty easy to find. Guide really helps for this. This is for getting your first hidden car of the game. And this is for getting all of the hidden cars in the game. All these cars are really nice to use and they're actually very fun to use. And then this is for getting 30 different cars in the museum, which was actually pretty hard, even though this game is filled with cars. This is for paying officer off after getting a speeding ticket. This is for getting the bolt up to 50 kilometers an hour. This actually seems really hard because this car sucks, but it's actually pretty easy. And this is for just hitting a wheelie for 3 seconds. And then this is for getting one of each collectible. And then this is for your first fox in the game. And this is the last room before we get to platinum. This is for collecting 50 different foxes throughout the game. These were the most annoying collectible to get, but they was very easy. And then this is the platinum. Hope you enjoyed the video and hopefully I'll see you guys later. What the hell? Luca got traded.